Oh, yay. It's a Top That Trade Day. Joining us now, Phil Flynn, a Fox Business Network contributor and options trading pro, Alan Nuckman with Agora Financial. Here we go, guys, with round number one in our trader game. Banks behind. What does it mean that banks banked big profits, but the stocks went down even after earnings beats?
They haven't broken out, but the key I want to say is yet. If you look at XLF, which tracks the whole index, trading between 20 and 25 for the last 8 months. We're at the top of that range right now. A breakout target's a move to 30. So it is interesting that they had great numbers, but it didn't reflect in the price just yet.
Well, I think the reason why it didn't was the COVID-19 situation and the concerns about bad loans on their books, and that's probably holding these stocks back. Just to show you how bad it is in comparison, compare these stocks to Bitcoin, for example. You got things like Bitcoin and gold and silver way outperforming the banks right now. But I agree with Alan. I think once we get a stimulus package into the economy, that's going to help these banks. There's going to be less chance of default or less concerns. And despite the fact of the risk to the banks and the hit that they're going to take, their balance sheets are still pretty good. So I think these stocks are going to be a breakout very soon.
Round number two, sunshine. There's new technology using solar power. Will that be a commodity game changer?
But yet really, breakthroughs in solar technology are getting a lot of people excited, and they think there's a real future in this. But you got to keep it in perspective. If you look at the amount of solar in the world, it's actually doubled in usage, but the percentage is still very small. It's still way less than 7% of the global energy mix. And while there's a lot of upside, I want to caution people by saying, solar is not going to solve all our problems. There's still some negatives on solar for the environment that people don't think about. And that, for example, is what do you do with old solar panels? How do you produce them? So it's not, the perfect solution. It will be part of the energy mix, but it's not going to replace fossil fuels anytime soon.
10 to 20 in a month. Now it's back to that 15 midpoint, SPWR, and also look at Canadian solar. I love Canada, obviously. So Canadian solar, 35 to 45 in the last month. So I think those stocks have had a big move, but they could be setting up for another leg higher.
I like DQ. It's in China, believe it or not Dairy Queen, but Daco Solar. It's a real big stock, and a lot of people like that if you like China.
Round number three, Billionaire Boom. The number of billionaires in China surpassed the USA. Is that bullish for the U.S.?
So, yes. If you look at the chart patterns of the FXI, which tracks China, and the S&P, it's been the exact same performance over the last year. So I think both those markets are strong. I like looking at the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom has not recovered. United Kingdom's down 25% if you look at the EWU ETF that tracks that market. So it's trading between 20 and 30. So that target's a breakout. We'll look at that. I think that's a better reward to risk. Yes, the S&P and China are going to continue, but really on almost the same path.
I think when you look at the situation with billionaires in China, because of the way that their government is structured, a lot of times when there's stress in China, people want to get money out of the country. And we've seen that time and time again, that the government of China has had to restrict outflows of capital because most of the billionaires don't want to keep it there. What does that tell you about that? It tells you right now that it probably is good for the United States stock market because most of the Chinese billionaires want to invest outside of the country. I can't imagine why, but that seems to be the trend.
For your bonus round question today, we are heading to the pumpkin patch for some pumpkin picking. Is it better to buy a pumpkin with a stem that is sturdy or a stem that's a bit squishy? Pick one.
Oh boy, I got to go with the sturdy stem.
Oh, for us? Or like I've got a squirrel. He loves to eat my pumpkin as soon as I put it outside. So I think the stem that's already pushed in a little bit means his pumpkin's softer and it's more ready for him to eat.
Phil, you are the big winner for this week. You want a sturdy stem.
There you go.
Swishy.
It's a lot easier to take the top of the jack-o'-lantern too. Put the candle in there.
Best wishes with that squirrel, Alan. Business First AM continues right after